So over the past like 2 days, on like I'm not even popping for on TikTok, but over like the past 2 days, I've been getting constant comments about me being a larper, which is it's crazy. I don't understand this. This is mainly stemming from I think one or two videos I made because I like to voice my opinion on here, and so when I do, it could be controversial. I was expecting that. So right, one of the videos I made was on why I stopped watching One Piece. And I stopped watching One Piece, and I talk about it. I stopped watching because the characters became boring. It became repetitive, and a lot of people immediately in my comments were just larp. Like it's like every comment was just larping. It's like I don't understand how people could think this. When I grew up, like I found out what anime was in middle school from a couple of friends, right? I'm not a larper. I'm just be fair, I'm not a larper, right? So when people say this, I get really, and like larp is like such a new concept to me because I've never heard this word before, and it just suddenly sparked in like the slang. It is being used, and I just never got it. So I looked it up, and it's basically when people it's like faking your lifestyle, fake it till you make it, pretty much, right? Like you're knowledgeable about stuff. I never pretend to be knowledgeable about anything. This is coming from someone who grew up with Marvel and DC his entire life and got into anime in middle school. Like, I'm not a larper because this is embarrassing, but I used to anime run through the cafeteria. I used to do Rasengan, Chidori, Hanzai, Kamehameha, Gomu Gomu no Bankai. I did all that shit, right? I am a huge nerd and geek, and I'm not afraid to admit that because there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I like what I like, and I like everything about anime. Like, anime's taking over right now. Anime is the #1 selling comic right now. One Piece is selling over at Marvel and DC. Like, that's amazing. And especially for how long One Piece is going on, it has never taken over, but now it's taking over. It's crazy, right? But the main thing is people are just like, I don't think they're mad, but I think they're irritated about my opinion because I just mainly said that One Piece had become repetitive. The characters did not change. The characters stay the same. Like, I voiced why I believe Oda is not terrible at writing characters. I stopped watching the anime after Wano. So, but I'm caught up to the manga. I know what's happening right now, right? And I'm not a larper. Like, I don't understand where this comes from because I voiced my opinion. Nami, Usopp, Chopper, they're useless characters. That's mainly what I talked about. They're useless. They don't do anything for the plot. Like, it doesn't matter what you say. Like, Nami is, well, in the beginning was a notorious burglar and stealer, but now, well, she's just there. People, like, genuinely be for real, what after the time skip did she learn? She learned more about the weather, and that was it. That was literally it. I wish Oda explored more with their characters. That's why I love the live action. I said this to a commenter in one of my videos because they were like, well, what do you think? How would you say Nami should be used? I'm like, okay, bet. I was busy, so I didn't respond, but I'm gonna respond to it and I'm gonna post this. But Nami is a burglar. Why not use that aspect? Like, there's so many ways you can use this. Nami could be the one who like, she could go covert. Like, she gets caught way too often and caught lacking so much, even though her character was introduced being a thief. And I don't understand this. Like, even if you don't want to go that route anymore, you can say that she can use that to slip away or to disarm somebody's primary weapon or something like that, right? But Oda doesn't use that. She screams and cries and calls Zeus, and then boom. The only reason Nami's even not in the weak trio is because of Zeus. You take away Zeus, then what? And Zeus is not even her own. Zeus was not even given, it was taken from her because Big Mom didn't want Zeus anymore. A lot of people don't know this, but I am a writer. I like to write stories. I have my own story that I'm working on. I'm still writing it. It's not finished, nowhere near close, but I have the entire story mapped out in my head. But it's difficult to write things into like reality from your mind, right? So I understand how difficult it could have been, but for Oda to be running an anime that's been going on for 1100 plus episodes and the characters to be relatively the same level as when they started, it's crazy. I would never write you don't have to be physically or the strongest, the fastest, the smart. You don't have to be any of that. Just explore more with their character. Oda doesn't do this. Let's be honest, he's terrible at writing women. He's terrible. Like, all the Straw Hats, who carries them on the back? The monster trio. You take, like, I also said this in another video. I said 4 straw hats is enough. I said Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Robin, and probably Frankie would clear through all the East Blue. East Blue, South Blue, North Blue, West. Just off their base starting at where they're at, they would clear. Nami is like, people like to say that Nami is the most important character. No, she isn't. No, she isn't. There, plenty of people have sailed the seas perfectly fine with a navigator. Like, Robin is the most important straw hat. It doesn't matter what you say. She's the only one besides like Pudding who can actually read the poneglyphs. Like how is this a debate? You take away Robin, they're never getting anywhere. Never. I know the whole gag was Zoro, but Nami is such a pointless, she's not pointless character. I take that back. She's not pointless character, but she doesn't really get the credit she deserves. This is why the live action Nami, who she's a fan of One Piece too, she knows about Nami. She's been wanting to play Nami. She's actually said this. So when I watched the anime, I saw that Nami was actually kicking ass and putting in that work. I was like, that's my Nami. I like that Nami better than the live action because it actually uses her character. She's not just some weak damsel in distress and needs someone else's help the entire fight. No, she's an actual combatant. She fights and she wins. She takes dubs. Sure, she cried, but she ain't gonna she don't cry forever. I don't remember the whole Arlong thing, but I know she cried for sure and stabbed her arm. Like that's part of the plot that has to happen. But I know after that, I'm pretty sure, I don't remember correctly, but I'm pretty sure after that she beat some ass. I'm not gonna cap. I don't remember though, and that's just my opinion. Like, I'm not being disrespectful towards anyone. I'm keeping it as I just like to talk about these things, right? I love to talk about this type of topic because it's fun to me, and I have a lot of things on my mind that I like to get off my chest. Actually, I think there was about 4 videos. I'm looking at it right now, about 4 videos that really piss some people off. But I really just don't understand how people can call me a larper for having opinion that I believe is factual compared to every other anime. Like, one of my favorite characters, female characters ever, probably my favorite character ever, was Toph from After the Last Airbender, right? Because Toph is an amazing female character. Toph is the type of character, well, I saw a comment, someone saying that everyone else began growing as the story began progressing, but Toph started out as 100%, and I think that's true. Toph, like, looking back on the Avatar: The Last Airbender, Toph really was at 100% power, and she stayed that way. She wasn't nerfed at all. She stayed that way. The only time, like, it was reasonable for her to be nerfed in the sense is when she's on sand or something that she can't seismic sense, right? Is like, that's why I'm writing my characters. Like, I want not all my characters, but my main characters. I want my main characters to be like Toph. But Toph wasn't. She's not that. She's a good character. She's the best written character I've ever seen. Like, there are different type of female characters. You got the romance. You got the combatant. The enemy. You know, there's so many other ways. Toph is like, Katara is more of a romance female character to me than anything. Toph is the confident and cocky type of female character, which you don't really see often in anime. But what I'm gonna do is show you the video. We're gonna see what the comments have to say. But I can't do it, bro. I can't keep watching. I stopped watching One Piece after Wano because I couldn't do it. I can't with the dragging of the characters not becoming more than themselves. Like, these characters are boring, bro. They won't improve. All right, so look, the first comment, I just got this comment 5 hours ago, right? Listen, he agrees with me too. I'm pretty sure you can see it, right? He goes, I honestly agree, dude. I stopped after 100 episodes in Alabasta. Arnold Park was only decent arc in that span of the 100 episodes, which is generally crazy. I had a better time watching Naruto filler. I can't go back into it. Whoa, okay. Naruto filler is a bit crazy because Naruto, like, I remember Naruto was my first ever anime. So when I was watching it, I, like, you guys want to call me a larper? I'll prove to you, right? I first learned about anime, right? I was so dedicated to watching anime. My friends told me about it. And they were like, watch Naruto. I watched a few episodes of Naruto, right? But then our bill for Hulu turned off, right? So for an entire year, I stayed off of anything that would have anything to do with Naruto. I was spoiler free for an entire year. I waited a whole year to watch Naruto. You will not tell me I'm a larper with that level of dedication. When I watched it all the way to fucking through. When I was watching the anime, while watching the episodes, right, I would skip like 10 to 20 episodes because of that filler. No cap. I'm like, you know what? I would make an educated guess, like, yeah, it's probably down here, right? If that episode's filler, I skip to the next episode. So the Naruto filler wasn't bad. Like, some of the episodes were good, but Naruto also gets hate for the filler when Bleach is way more posts saying that the showing the Bleach filler episodes. It was like all the anime. It's like the entire anime, and it showed you like highlighted what the filler episodes were. I skipped, no joke, about 30-40 episodes just to get back to the just to get back to the fight with him and Yukiura. So I fuck this comment. I don't know about the Naruto filler thing. We'll probably get back to that. Wrong in every way, not at all. Watch up to Wano, yeah, saying the characters don't improve and are boring. Okay, so I said that. Hold on, let's listen again. Can't keep watching. I stopped watching One Piece after Wano because I couldn't do it. I can't with the dragging of the characters not becoming more than themselves. Like these characters. Right. So I can't stand when characters are like I forgot what it's called. I think it's a static character, some type of character that just stays the same and never changes or improves. I hate those type of characters because then it's like what is the purpose of making a story about an adventure? And I say this in the full video. I said, what is the point of making a story about an adventure series and the characters are relatively the same? Like Nami pre time skip, like first few episodes she appeared versus now without Zeus would go to a stalemate. Like that's honestly a fair thing to say. They would fight and be in a stalemate. And Usopp don't even get me started on Usopp. He might die after fucking Elbaf, right? Spoiler. I'll put a spoiler before I say that, right? But Usopp is the weakest Straw Hat. And Oda said he was never going to get stronger, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. But he gaslit us. He gaslit me in the first episode of the time skip. When he first appeared and he no dipped them dudes, I was like, my boy finally got stronger. A few episodes later, crying. Why make him seem as he got more stronger and cocky and confident? And he's the same. Like he was buffer in the first episode of the post time skip than now. He's skinny again. He's slanky. Like, bro, where did all that muscle go? Name 5 Nami attacks off the dome. Go. Name 5 Usopp attacks. Go. Right. Name 5 highlights from both of them. Like, let's go. Piranha. Okay, sure. I get that to you. It was a Sugar. There you go. God, Usopp. Soge King. Now what? That's all I got. And I'm going off the dome. I can't name 5, and I'm struggling to name 5. I can't name a single time Nami actually clutched up. I generally can't think of more than 5, probably less than 5 for Usopp. I can only name 4 things for Usopp. I can't name a single time Nami actually clutched up for the crew. And it was like a major point in the story. Nami literally got Zeus. Larp, holy Larp. Okay, and I just said this. Nami may have gotten Zeus, but that was it. Nami didn't become better in any way. She just uses Zeus as a, like, I get it's her weapon and shit. I get that. That's fine. But we're not gonna sit here and like Zeus wasn't fucking given to her multiple times. She lost him, and like Zeus was only given to Nami to break her free from the weakest trio. That was literally it. That's the only purpose of Zeus. Other than that, like, come on, like I said it. Her post-time skip versus her pre-time skip self would fight and go to a stalemate. How would he implement her being a burglar into a fight? He's replying to my comment, right? I said, yeah, that's it. Nami the burglar, yeah, has never once used that in an important battle. I really wish Oda would use that aspect part, right? And I said that, right? And I think early in the video, I said, yeah, here's a way you can actually use it, right? And I'm gonna respond to this comment, right? 0 likes. He's a dickhead. I don't know why he's doing that. Holy Larp, right? Like, goddamn, right? Can I not have an opinion? I've been watching anime before it was popular. This is an experience preview, right? I've been watching anime since I was a little fucking kid, before I broke free from middle school, right? Before middle school, it was I think it was 5th grade. Yeah, it was 5th grade, because that was my 5th grade. I watched anime, right? And when I got into anime, I was the biggest nerd ever. I wish I could see my old friends from back then, because they would tell you, right? You want to know how I was so dedicated. I'm so dedicated to this shit. I can do like 3 Naruto hand sign. I can do the fireball jutsu. I can do the summoning jutsu. I can do the Chidori kind of. Right? Chidori's a little like difficult. It's like this. And it's like that. I think that's correct. I might be missing one hand seal, probably something like that or something. I forgot. But I was so dedicated that I learned the fireball jutsu and I learned the summoning jutsu. I learned both of those hand signs just because I loved Naruto and I loved anime. You obviously didn't watch Wano right. We didn't only get to see the main characters like Sanji, Zoro, and Luffy all have huge power-up and character development throughout the arc. But we also got to see side characters like Momo, Yamato, all the samurai, all different perspectives that shape the story into a big conclusion. We watch that shit, bro, and lock in. Okay. Okay. So he just named a bunch of side characters. Like Yamato came into the story powerful, right? Momo was just like, we all knew at the end of the day he was going to become stronger. He had to for the story to make sense. He would have, like, he already turned into a dragon. Like, it's gonna be a dragon clash now, and that was gonna happen. We already knew that, right? Then he goes for the samurai. Like, I didn't mention the samurai one time in that video. One time did I mention the samurai. I talked about the main cast of characters, and I hate it. Like, these characters all came in like strong. They all appeared in the arc strong for this arc, right? But Nami has way more, like hundreds to thousands more screen times than them, and yet they appeared and they're stronger, just like that. And that's fine. That's just like, that just shows you that the things that happen with these characters, there's other shit going on in the story, and that shows like world building, character like perspective and all that. That's fine. But what I made, but he says, we didn't only get to see the main character like Sanji, Zoro, and Luffy have power-ups. Yeah, we did. Who else got a power-up? Robin unlocked Haki, sure, but like, I'm talking about I only mainly talked about the weakest trio. Because these type of characters just don't progress. Like, they just sit there and they cry for help. Like, I can't, like, I struggle to name one of Nami's highlights and 5 of Usopp's, right? Even God Usopp sucked ass because it was like, why give him that title? And he's like, I get it's like a funny shit to do, that's fine. Like, it doesn't work for his character when he doesn't want to become stronger. Like, Oda makes arcs for these characters, like specifically that could work perfectly for these characters, yet there's nothing with them. Frankie with Egghead, Zoro with Wano, Sanji did good in Whole Cake. But the one that pissed me off the most was Usopp and Elba. But the one that pissed me off the most was Frankie and Egghead, because Egghead was recently just out, right? We were still on Egghead, and Frankie didn't do shit. Frankie was just there. He was a facing the fucking crowd. Like, he spent 2 years reading Vegapunk shit and improving his body and learning how to do all this other shit. Yeah, he meets the man himself, and it's just, he meets the man. Nothing else happened. He just meets the man. It's like, what's the point of making a setup for these characters that works perfectly for the character? Like, imagine like, if I would never write a story where like the story works perfect, like not on purpose at least, where an arc works perfectly for a character, and then I do nothing with that character. That's just poor writing, right? I've already said I'm a writer, so I know how. I'm not the best. I'm nowhere near the best. I'm still improving to this day, but I understand enough to think I can have an opinion, and that's because I think I know enough. One Piece is, as a whole, is fine, and it's only as long as it is because Oda wanted it to be that long, because he could have ended it a long time ago, right? But the thing is that I would never write my cast of characters to all be weak, ever. Like, they don't all have to be, like, obviously some of them are gonna be faster, stronger, smarter. That's fine. I will boost those aspects of the character because it'll work for those characters the most, but I will never let my characters be weak. Like imagine if you were on a crew. I said something similar in the video, but in the full video. But imagine if you were on a crew and you were sailing the sea trying to find the world's strongest treasure from the strongest men that ever lived that you know of, right? Imagine that. And then you have like half of your crew is weak and can't take a single dub by themselves. Like, come on, man. Like Chopper was such a force in the pre-time skip. When that monster form came out, I fell in love with One Piece. I was like, wow. And he caught a dub, but now that shit's lame. Now he becomes a kung fu fucking whatever the hell he is, reindeer. Like, why? He becomes like, he doesn't, like, he doesn't even transform anymore. He just really becomes he becomes this form, and that's it. He uses that form, and then that's it. Like, nothing about his character is cool to me because he's a static. I gotta look at the name. What's the name for that character that doesn't improve? In literature and storytelling, a character does not undergo significant change or growth throughout a story is called a static character, right? One Piece, the whole damn near the whole cast of Straw Hats is a static character. Everyone but like, come on, you can name like 10 Luffy, Zoro, Sanji highlights. You can name at least one or two forms, not forms or power moves they got, right? You can't name shit for the other three. And that's what I don't like. I get it's a resemblance of life, how some people will just never change, some people will just stay the same. That's fine. If let's keep it a buck. If it was realistic, not realistic, like in the sense of like where I'm going with this, you'll see, right? If it was realistic in the sense of your cast of crew could not keep up with you, and they were just in the back, right? The only reason the Straw Hats are still together is because of sentimental value, because Luffy cares for them. Luffy saved Nami, Luffy saved Robin, Zoro was his first mate, Luffy sort of saved Sanji type shit. Usopp sort of had a highlight in Syrup Village. What's that called? I can't remember what he did exactly, because I'm pretty sure, did he save the village? I don't remember. I just remember him being covered in blood. Yeah, I would never have my cast of crew never become better than themselves. Like, I don't need Nami to be the strongest, I don't need Usopp to be the smartest, I don't need Chopper to be the fastest, I don't need any of that. But I need more, because One Piece has been going on for too long for characters to be static. It's just been going on for too long. The only reason I know I'm saying it, and I talked about Toph, right? But the reason it works for Toph, because Toph, like, she started off at 100%, turned to strength and like skill. She came in at 100%, but she still improved. She was, but her cockiness and her confidence made it seem like she was the strongest, and she actually is. Not gonna cap. Besides avatars, Toph is the strongest character in the show. That's what I believe. I believe no one can actually beat Toph in a one-on-one. I genuinely believe that. But it works for her character, because her character was all about confidence, cockiness, and she lived her life doubting herself so much, and then when she learned how to do this on her own, she said, I ain't never going back. I want one of my two characters, female characters, to be like Toph, because Toph is the best written female character from a writer's point of view I've ever seen, right? And they still incorporated some romance with Sokka, right? That's fine, but because even then, even though she started off at 100%, she became stronger, because she but 12 or 11, some fucking number that ain't, some type of number, right? She learned metal better, something that on 10,000 of avatars couldn't do. 10,000 avatars couldn't figure out a sub bending for Earth. That's crazy, right? And that literally just guarantees her spot as the second strongest character in the show, right? Her and Boomy fought, it became a stalemate, but like Prime, it's Toph. I'm putting money on Toph every time. I don't care what you say, right? All these people call me a larper because of my opinion that I'm not only speaking from a nerd and like someone who's actually watched the entire show and read the manga and watched every other show and all this other bullshit. You're not gonna call me a larper for my opinion because you think it's bad, right? But I'm also speaking from a writer's point of view too. What I'm saying, when I watch a movie or TV show, I analyze everything, right? It's not even intentional. The back of my mind goes, it takes notice of these things, right? And these things annoy me. Like going back and watching The Flash, I was like, this shit is ass. I went back and watched it, right? I can still enjoy the show, right? But I'll call bullshit when I see bullshit. Like every time Barry doesn't use his speed, like one episode this nigga will run through time, the next he's struggling to catch a villain that just walks outside to they literally, like, holy shit, like they do it so often. Barry will literally, like, the villain will literally run, take a left or right, gone, and he has super speed. You know how many times this man has circled the city? You know how many times they've done that? They did that specifically a lot in season 2 because they were doing the portal shit, right? From a fan point of view and a writer's point of view, right? But a lot of people just call me a larper because of my opinion, and they don't like my opinion. But that's not the case. I'm not a larper. Oh, look right here, another one, right? Was about one of the character types I hate the most, right? And it is about One Piece. I for real can't stand when characters are weak for the purpose of being weak. I don't like it. I don't like when characters don't want to become better or become stronger than themselves. Like, what has Nami done for her? What, like, she learned from a wizard about the weather more? Okay, you can improve on some aspects of like character or personality, but everything stayed the same. Like, Sanji is still a fucking pervert. Like, like this show has been going on for 25 years. Why? Like, come on, man. Like, it's got like that shit is so old now. It's like the ship has sailed. It was funny, sure, but now it's just fucking harassment. And like, come, it's not funny. It's just repetitive and annoying. You have to change it up, especially with a character like Sanji, because now he's giving men a bad name, bro. Right? And look, this character says this: larp. She's a now larp. She's the navigator. Everyone knows she's not one of the main forces, and that's not her job, Brody. Right? And I responded. I said, I know this, but Nami generally didn't become stronger or better in any category. I truly want her to take a singular dub on her own, which is why I love the live action Nami, as she generally understood how Nami should be. And I said this in the video. This is why you know I'm not lying and I'm not a larper, because I'm saying the same shit I'm saying in this video, and I've said it to other people already. I've told these people, right? I'm not lying. Genuinely report worthy take. Maybe because strength isn't everything. I also said become better. Exactly. I don't like, I'm not talking about mainly strength. I'm talking about improving on other aspects. Like in the last fucking video, someone asked me, use non-burglar shit as like in battle. I was like, this, and I already explained this in the, I've said it so many times. It's crazy. Like most of these people, I'm not saying they aren't, but a lot of these people that are responding are just most likely just fans of the show, and they're not actual writers, and they don't really pay attention to everything. They're just going off of what they believe is correct because their likeness to the show. I'm not going off, I'm leaving that shit to the side no matter how much I like them or hate them. I'm going, this is a trash character. They don't do anything. This is a trash storyline. I'll call bullshit when I call bullshit, and that's the end of the discussion, right? I did have that one dude who agreed with me. Now, I respect someone who can see the other side of the coin, because a lot of people see the heads and never the tails, and that's an issue. Because the only way you can ever see both sides is if you flip it, but they'll never flip it, right? Again, I'm not being picky, choosy, or LARPing. Apparently, I'm just telling you from a perspective of someone who's actually grown up. Like, I watched One Piece before I hit 1,000 episodes. I was dedicated, right? I took 6 months breaks easily. It took me like 2 years to watch fully the One Piece before I hit 1,000 episodes. I'm a straight nerd. I'm a geek, bro. I love Marvel. I love DC. I love anime, bro. But I don't think I've ever done it purposefully to be like this, like I say something I agree on, specifically because I know little about it. Like, that's never the case, especially with my interests. I'll never just have an opinion that I think is wrong without having anything to back it up. Another one, a lot of people will agree I'm wrong on this because they believe I'm wrong, right? But I have my facts to back up my claim on this one, right? But the one I'm about to tell you right now is going to cause a lot of problems, right? And I'm pretty sure the conversation is going to be full of LARP, right? But whatever, right? I'm going to say it because I know people are going to be hot. I truly believe, after watching both shows and after doing hella research on both, right, I still truly believe Naruto is the strongest big three member. I truly believe that, and I'm ready to argue with you motherfuckers if that's what you want to do. I'm perfectly ready to do that, right? You send in your shit, I'll send in my shit. Let's do it, right? That one's gonna get hella people mad because a lot of people just follow the train, right? They hear the train rumbling, they follow bandwagon. You know what I mean? But I don't do that. I try to have a different opinion at all times, or at least a different perspective. Right? One of my favorite quotes, probably my favorite quote ever, is "You're always the villain in someone else's story," and I repeat that to myself a lot, weekly for sure. Right? And it just reminds me that no matter how horrible it may seem or how bad it can get, I am the bad guy in someone's life. Specifically, if I know them or not, just for existing, I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy in someone's life. Like, just off of existing, I'm the bad guy. So why would I want to make life harder for myself and for them? Right. So when I come in with enthusiasm or apparently LARP, I'm not LARPing because I'll never say anything that I don't mean or won't back up, right? And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I can admit when I'm wrong. Right? I'm not afraid to go, yeah, my bad, I'm wrong, sorry. Right? But a lot of people are. Right, one of the few things I was taught to from my dad was to always admit when you're wrong, and I stand by that to this day. But if I believe I'm right, I will stand by my answer. But until you can prove me wrong, right? There's some things that you just gotta admit you're wrong. You gotta drop the pride. You gotta let it go. You gotta just say, yeah, my fault. I'm sorry. My bad. I was wrong. Just apologize. Simple as that. A lot. I feel. Hell, if you just apologize, a lot of things in this world will not be as bad as it actually is. I've spent my time with these shows. I've done my research from my personal experience, from the writer side of me and the fan side of me. I stand by these takes because I watched One Piece first as a fan, and I went back and I saw it as from a writer's perspective. I stand by everything I've said in this video. I stand by all of it. Some people are still gonna call me a larper. Sure, we can go back and forth on it. I'm not afraid to. I'm not shy, bro. We can go back and forth, right? Just be prepared for some paragraphs. You're gonna be reading a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I can go all day, like Captain America. You know what I'm saying? I can go all day. Pause. Want you guys to think that I'm being mad or rude or anything like that. I'm just voicing my opinion. I've been sitting here for like half an hour, right? And I haven't moved because I want to get everything off my chest and off my mind. But I'm not angry, I'm not mad, anything like that. I'm calling this out specifically because it's just some things you just gotta let me know. TikTok's not even popping like that, right? But over the last, I see a comment, a notification for a comment, larp, larp, larp. I'm like, you know what? Let's just respond to it. I posted on the TikTok too. I posted on YouTube too. Right, YouTube been kind to me. They just been nothing but great. It's mainly it's like it's been on my ass. But yeah, I stand by everything I've said. I don't take back a single thing I've said. You want to call me a leper? You can call me a leper. Argue with me, we can argue, right? I'm not shy of talking to my fan base. I will go back and forth with you, right? If that's what you want to do. Before it gets annoying, then I'll drop off the face of the earth. You'll never see me again. That was a fun little chat, wasn't it? Cool. That was a lot better to get off my chest than I thought it would.